On the news tonight, House of Representatives engages stakeholders at an open legislative week in Abuja.
A lot more Nigerians don't seem to know the much we are doing.
Senate seeks repeal of the National Identity Management Commission Act.
The issues of kidnapping, terrorism can be dealt with properly. You have the kind of system in this bill.
Plus, special on the proclamation of the Oyo State House of Assembly. Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria. I am Abubakar Galadima. In commemoration of 25th year of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria, the leadership of the House of Representatives is currently playing host to stakeholders in the Nigerian polity in a legislative open week engagement. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide gives us a background report on the fundamentals of open legislature, kicking off with the second legislative year of the 10th Green Chamber.
Historically, at a global level, New York State Senate's open legislation provides a public web service that gives access to the New York State legislative data from the Legislative Bill Drafting Commission system. Nigeria's National Assembly followed suit, beginning from the Femi Gbajabiamila-led 9th House of Representatives to usher in a new legislative year. From that moment, it remains a strategic initiative to foster an open legislature that promotes citizens' engagement in legislative and governance procedures. Legislative Open Week becomes known as a transformational annual event.
I remember the 9th Assembly had the same thing under Speaker Gbajabiamila, had the same thing. I think the essence is to just take a cursory look at what happened the previous legislative year and plan for the new year they are entering.
It serves as an opportunity for members of your constituents to understand how all the bills are passed, how laws are made.
The 10th Green Chamber is holding on to it. This year's event has the theme Improving Inclusion through Citizens' Engagement.
You know, once you are a politician, you always engage with the people. If you are good politicians, if you are good representatives, you are people, you know their needs. That's why you are there. Probably that's why they have confidence in you and elected you. You know their yearnings.
To be held accountable, should be traceable, it should be tractable, so that when they track and then to be able to, and should be measurable in terms of the KPI, that's key performance and indicators.
The 3-day ongoing engagement has in attendance representatives of state houses of assembly, National Council of Traditional Rulers, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, Nigerian Bar Association, all political parties, among other critical partners in legislative practice. From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
Joining us on Parliamentary News to discuss the Legislative Open Week at the House of Representatives is Honorable Inu Garba, member representing Yamal 2 Deba Federal Constituency in Gombe State, who is also the Chairman House Committee on Science Engineering. Honorable, you're welcome to NTA Parliament News. Honorable, the Legislative Open Week is on. What is it all about and what does it seek to achieve at the National Assembly?
I quite appreciate the initiative by the leadership of the House of Representatives under His Excellency Dr. Tajuddin Abbas for this very laudable initiative, which I believe will pave way for close interaction between the electorates and their representatives in the chambers of the House of Representatives.
How is this different from the other engagement with citizens at the constituency level?
You know, that is a different layer, which is a new initiative. A different layer, why? Because there you are going to your constituents with what you want them to hear. Here, the people from the stakeholders among your constituents are coming to know what you are doing as individual members and as committees in the House, standing committees, and the House itself. What have you done in the last 1 year?
Okay, what are the expectations from the Legislative Open Week, and how will it enhance relationship between Parliament and the Nigerian citizens?
When you come and you see and hear what your legislators are planning to do or what they have been doing, then you have that so-called that there's something is happening, not that everybody is just quiet. Even the executive will know that what we are doing or what they have bring or propose to the House, we've done it in the best way that will be to the advantage of the people who are, at the receiving end.
Thank you very much, Honorable Inu Agarba, for throwing more lights on this subject matter. In the meantime, correspondent Mitaire Ikpen is standing by to give us an insight on what is expected in the next 3 days from the open week of the 10th Assembly. Mitaire.
Thank you, studio. It's an interesting scenario here at the National Assembly, where Parliament has thrown open its doors to citizens and members of the public who are here represented by various civil society organizations, traditional rulers, and various stakeholders. It's the Legislative Open Week of the House of Representatives. And don't forget, the House of Representatives prides itself as the People's Parliament. And this open week perhaps is a testament and a demonstration to that commitment and determination of the House to be the People's Parliament. It is also part of the legislative agenda of the 10th House of Representatives to operate an open parliament. We already have various interest groups in the National Assembly for the open week of the House of Representatives. And at the moment, we have joining me here now on set a Third Republic lawmaker who is also right now in the 10th House of Representatives. He's Honorable Fred Agbedi, who represents Sagbama Ekeremo Federal Constituency. Honorable Fred Agbedi, you have seen it all, having been a Third Republic lawmaker, and now you are in the 10th Assembly. Can you let us into whether this initiative is novel or it has always been the practice?
Yeah, of course it's novel, even if for once or some time ago we had taken an action like this before. This is novel. Coming from the Third Assembly, Third Republic to the Fourth Republic, and having been here for quite a while, I know that in the 8th Assembly we had a program like this, but no two programs can be the same, because the Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, has kept to his programs, has kept to the legislative agenda for the 10th House of Representatives. A lot more Nigerians don't seem to know the much we are doing. And it is this kind of face-to-face, one-on-one public interaction with Nigerians that will make Nigerians appreciate what precisely and exactly, not only what the legislature is doing, but particularly this 10th Assembly, this 10th House of Representatives is doing to ensure that we turn the fortunes of this country around.
All right, thank you, Honorable Fred Agbedi. And just as he has put it, it will be a time of interface between the lawmakers and citizens through various interest groups that are already here in Parliament. The theme for this Legislative Open Week is promoting inclusion through citizens' engagement. And in the next 2 to 3 days, we are going to be witnessing robust interface where issues that touch the masses will be discussed. It's over to you, studio.
Thank you very much, Mitaire. Meanwhile, Senate is seeking the repeal of the National Identity Management Commission Act to give way for the establishment of an identity commission alongside a national identity database. The bill, sponsored by the Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, makes provision for the maintenance of national database to address crimes relating to identity theft. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Identity theft through the use of technology is an issue of concern not only in Nigeria but the world over. The proposed law seeks to streamline the sharing of personal data and expand the scope of the Commission.
The proposed legislation is crucial for the socio-economic and political development of this country.
Most of us are affected by fraudulent acts as a result of our biometrics that are not controlled. There must be a provision for punishment for willfully refusing to register.
The issues of kidnapping, terrorism can be dealt with properly if you have a kind of system in this bill.
The bill will be subjected to scrutiny at a public hearing, having passed second reading. Senate also passed at second reading the bill seeking the establishment of Chartered Compliance Institute of Nigeria. Senator Oyo State in another motion, brought to the attention of the Senate the effects of flood devastation to lives and property in Abia North and appealed for intervention.
Flooding in some communities in Abia North came with lightning and thunder, was so severe and devastating that some precious lives were lost in the flood. Critically connecting roads were completely cut off.
Similar appeal was made by Senator Cyril Fajui, urging government to assist flood victims in Ekiti State. In another development, the Senate and House Joint Committee on TET Fund met with management of the Education Loan Fund on operationalization of the fund.
This joint committee is carrying out its mandate, required further clarification on the modalities that will be used in selecting the beneficiaries vis-à-vis ensuring that the eligible candidates are not denied access to this loan.
We have put some programs in place, some processes in place to ensure that this program is spread evenly across the entire nation.
NALFund was set up to enable indigent students in Nigeria access loan for education purposes. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Key players in the security sector in Nigeria are calling on the National Assembly to prioritize the establishment of state police in the next alteration of the 1999 Constitution. This was the consensus at a discourse organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, which focused on decentralizing Nigeria's security system. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
Over the years, Nigeria has been operating a centralized police structure despite the dynamics of each state with unique socio-cultural and security challenges. Experts say the country in need of a more tailored and responsive approach to law enforcement matters. This dialogue, they believe, is not only timely but crucial for the future of the nation's police system.
It has been argued that the establishment of state police may empower local authorities to address these challenges more effectively, ensuring quicker response and better understanding of local security dynamics.
Ceding power to federal authorities only could cause a wrong assumption that the federating units do not have the power to maintain their own issues of discipline within their respective domain.
When we're talking of policing, where you are depending on police to police your society, it means your society has failed. And I'm very serious about this. I'm very, as a first trained as a sociologist, I think Nigeria has failed in using the social institutional socialization and policing system.
While some panelists expressed concerns about state governors hijacking the system, they, however, emphasized that the benefits of the state police outweigh its risks. At the end of the dialogue, recommendations will be brought forward to address myriad of security and economic challenges facing the nation. In Abuja, Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
We now go on a short break. We will be back shortly. The news continues. You're still on NTA Parliamentary News and talking health matters. The federal government's declaration of state of emergency on cholera. The Lagos State House of Assembly is calling on Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to direct the Commissioner for Health to urgently deploy more personnel and medical supplies for effective management of the disease in the state. The motion was moved under the matters of urgent public importance and adopted at plenary, presided over by Speaker Mudashiru Obasa. Musa Tuliat has the details.
With 29 cholera-related deaths, 48 confirmed cases, and more than 500 suspected cases, the Lagos State lawmakers say there is need for the state government to urgently deploy more resources in the areas of sensitization and management of cholera to curb its spread. This followed a motion moved by the Chairman, Committee on Health Services, Musbah Lawal.
One of the governors of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to direct and chairman the local government areas and the local council development areas to ensure that all primary health centers in the state to activate their emergency operation centers, EOC.
Some of the state legislators want the government to ensure the provision of potable water and the reintroduction of the monthly environmental sanitation exercise across the metropolis.
How far have we gone in making sure that the water works, and your water, the general water, are they working? To Nigeria, to Lagosians, the masses especially, you will have potable water.
In respect to Loma, we need Loma as part of the prayers to answers for Mustafa. We would like Loma to ensure that our wastes are disposed at the appropriate time. Too many of them floating around the street.
Liquid waste is very important for man providers. Most of when they clear sewages, most of these standards that don't clear sewages and all that, they can't drop it in our natural water bodies. So, most of the government is despite they are always working on the private partner on this. I think they need to despite this and get it done very quickly.
I remember we saw one big environmental sanitation and home. And the reason it was stopped was because there was no law of this house back in that process. I suggest something we look at again, just have to monthly, quarterly, if you can monthly, whatever one to for sanitation is also important.
Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa stressed that no efforts should be spared by the government to stem the spread of the cholera outbreak.
We have to continue to sensitize, and not just in one language, in every language that's spoken in our state, everywhere, every day, so that we can manage it. I would prevent such from happening again.
The Committee on Health Services has been mandated to carry out oversight functions to ascertain the extent of improvement in the management of cholera cases in affected areas. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Improving probity, accountability, and effective supervision are reasons behind changing the status of Zakat and Waqaf Endowment Commission to Zakat and Waqaf Agency. These are views of the Sokoto State Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Nasir Muhammad Binji at a public hearing where he reinstated that the rules and regulations governing the functions of the Commission remain valid even when amended. Nuruddin Abdullahi Adili reports.
Following the public hearing that took place at Mini Chamber of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Nasir Muhammad Binji stated that the state government deems it necessary to bring the amendment to change the acronym of Zakat and Waqaf Endowment Commission to an agency which will be under supervision of government department or ministry to safeguard public funds. The Commissioner further clarified that the provision of Section 137 of the Constitution only established 3 commissions for each state of the Federation, which are the State Civil Service Commission, the Judicial Service Commission, and the State Independence Electoral Commission, while lately in 2023, some amendment was made and created the State House of Assembly Service Commission. Similarly, for administration purposes, states created boards and agencies which are solely under the supervision of certain departments or ministries. The commissioner emphasized that if the makers of the constitution had so wished, they would have went ahead to style all state bodies to be commissioned.
When we look at the Zakat and Endowment Commission and others that have been forwarded for amendment to the House.
While briefing newsmen shortly after his submission, the State Auditor General Samboya Hiyanawawi says they found out in the course of their investigation issues that made them to recommend to the government to effect the amendment of the bill, which was amended 2 days to the end of last administration, that took away every power to the executive chairman and accountant of the commission.
I found out that there are hidden secret accounts which he offers without the knowledge of the accounts department. One of these accounts was signed by him and the director of administration.
The coalition of NGOs, Muslim Sisters Association, Muslim Students Organization, Labor Union, and TUC, among others, advised the committee to be very cautious in scrutinizing the report they received from the general public. The chairman of the committee, Abubakar Shehu Yabo of Yabo constituencies, says after the public hearing, they will sit down and scrutinize all the inputs by stakeholders and general public and come up with comprehensive report and report back to the House for other legislative process.
Nothing has been changed with regard to the functions, all those that stipulate the functions and the powers of the Zakat Commission. Nothing has been changed.
The chairman promised to do everything possible that will be for the benefit of the state. From the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Nuruddin Abdullahi Adili, NTA News.
And now to our special on Ogun State House of Assembly, proclaimed on the October 2nd, 1979, and has so far passed a total of 308 bills with other resolutions since its inception. Yemi Dalemo is guiding us on this journey.
The Ogun State House of Assembly at inception is of a unique design, and it was designed to seat 36 members. The first, second, and third assembly comprised 36 members representing each state constituency, but due to further delineation of constituencies, the fourth assembly to the present 10th assembly are made up of 26 members each. The assembly has been led by 8 speakers, most of whom spent only one term of 4 years, except the speaker of the 7th and 8th, Suraj Ishola Adekunbi, who spent 8 years leading the 26 members lawmakers. The House, in promoting gender equality and encouraging women participation in politics, ensure for the first time the emergence of a female speaker, Titi Oseni, during its 5th assembly, and has since given various principal offices to female legislators at the chamber, including the current deputy speaker, Latifat Bolanle Ajayi, and the chief whip, Omolola Bakare, who described working in a male-dominated assembly as cordial, even as they advocate more constituencies to sponsor female into the legislature.
I see that Ogun State House of Assembly has improved a lot.
The current composition of the House could be described as youth-dominated, with the youngest being a 27-year-old member from Ijebu North 1 constituency, Rashid Kashamu. Minority Leader of the House, Lukman Adeleye, while speaking on youth inclusiveness in Ogun State House of Assembly, says Nigerian youth in politics have the prospect of turning things around in line with the technological advancement the world over and international best practices.
This is an assembly that is unique and blessed.
Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Oludaisi Elemide, and some of his predecessors note that the state legislature has been living up to expectations and will continue to do so even in their relationship with both the executive and judiciary, and will not disappoint their various constituencies.
I can say so far so good.
They have kept the flag flying.
The leadership of the House is not settled.
the government, which is the executive, will not also have smooth running.
The legislative arm of government is the only symbol of that depicts democratic rule, no doubt about that.
The Assembly has experienced many ups and downs which it has weathered the storms, including the impeachment of its 7th Speaker, Olakunle Oluomo, in January 2024, leading to the emergence of the incumbent Oludaisi Elemide, who promised all-inclusive leadership in the interest of peace, progress and development of the Gateway States. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Yemi Dalemo, for that report. And this is where we wrap it up on NTA Parliamentary News. Do join us again tomorrow for more news on the Nigerian Parliament. But remember, you can still watch our news and programs on social media handles scrolling on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Abubakar Galadima. Do have a wonderful evening.